If you enjoy the content on this channel and would like to help me out with the production of more content for this channel, then please consider supporting me on Patreon, link in the description down below. Hello everybody, this is SeetherCord and welcome to another installment of my SeetherTalks series here on YouTube. For today's episode of SeetherTalks, we're going to be talking about long-distance relationships. And I'm going to tell you guys how to survive one, and I'll show you guys how I've been able to survive one for over a year now. Before we start off with my advice on long-distance relationship, let me kind of explain to you guys what I personally feel like makes a relationship long-distance. Now, people a lot of times think that only like the actual physical distance represents whether or not a relationship is long distance, which they're kind of right, but I also feel like there are a lot of cases where a lot of people say, oh, I'm in a long distance relationship with this person, but I don't feel like they are. Those relationships I don't think are long distance relationships are the ones where the two people live like 30 minutes or like an hour or so away from people, which can still make it long distance, but if they're willing to like drive to see each other like every day, and even if they're like an hour or so away from you, if you see them almost every day, I don't feel like it counts as a long distance relationship because you're still physically seeing them in person, even if you guys live a little bit or so more than usual away from each other. I don't know, I always thought that's kind of a pet peeve of mine because I have seen a few couples where they complain about the distance and so, which I can understand, but like saying how it's like long distance or so because of the fact that like it's an hour away, but they go drive to see each other like every 2 or 3 days. And yet I'm here dating someone who's literally 4,000 miles away, and it just gets me like, ugh, I want to freaking slap you in the face with a salmon.
Has Rolf gone insane?
But anyway, yes, we can now get into the advice I have for long-distance relationships. Let me let you guys know that this is coming from a guy who has dated someone online for over a year now, has not met them in person, so I know there's a lot more videos out there of people also talking about long distance where they have the experience of knowing them in person. This is more so going to advise people of how to handle the relationship up to the point of when you're going to meet them. Because once you're past the point of where you actually meet them in person, I don't know where to go through from there at that point then. But I do have some good advice for when you're in the period of you guys are just in the distance right now. One of the biggest things I feel like people need to have when they're in a long distance relationship is that they need to have thick skin.
Extra thin!
And I mean, you need to learn to not let what other people think bother you. Because let me tell you, when you date someone in a long distance relationship or you're dating someone you met online, you are going to have a lot of people judge you for that. Not saying that they're doing it out of bad intentions, because there are some things such as online predators and such. But there are definitely those people that will try to make you feel bad or try to stop you from meeting the person you really like. If you ever have someone who makes you feel bad or makes you feel like you're a weirdo for dating someone online, don't feel bad about it, because I do remember reading about how 1/4 of all relationships that are made now these days are online. So even though a lot of people don't like to acknowledge the fact that it's normal, online relationships are really socially acceptable and normal now these days. It's just a lot of people don't want to acknowledge it and they want to be jerks about it. So yeah, if you ever get a hard time for that, or if people make fun of you or so, or people say that, oh, the person you're dating is a pedophile or something like that that wants to kill you, just ignore them if you're really for sure you really like this person. The second thing I want to advise for you and your partner is communication. Communication is a big role, especially if you guys are separated through distance. If you're not able to physically see the person, you're not able to like read their body gestures and body language, you're only going to be able to communicate through text and phone calls. So you're going to have to be very open with them about how you feel about things, because if you don't, you're going to bottle it up and it's going to explode. It can lead to fights. It can lead to breakups. Be open about your feelings. Don't feel like you're a sensitive crybaby. It's okay. You can be open about your feelings. If something's bothering you, let them know. If something pisses you off, let them know. This is one of the most life or death factors of making a long distance relationship, or any relationship in general, last. So be aware of that. Be open with your emotions. Don't be a robot. The third form of advice I would give you if you're in a long distance relationship with someone is to make the best of a bad situation. Okay, because at first you're going to feel like it's exciting over being in a relationship with someone, even if it's long distance, like you don't mind, like, oh my God, this is so much fun. And then after a while you start to realize, wow, this fucking sucks. You're not able to see them in person. You can't cuddle with them. You can't kiss them. None of that. And I know it absolutely sucks, but you're going to have to make the best of all your resources. If you can't see the person in physical form that often, get involved with social media apps. Message them on Facebook, call them on FaceTime, Skype with them, Discord with them, Telegram them, anything. Find some video games you guys can play together. If you enjoy playing games, play online with them. If you want to watch a movie together, watch a movie together. Just find some way that you guys can have bonding time together that can be done through the internet, be it with gaming, watching movies, hell, going on Omegle and posing naked for people. Do that. Not implying that I ever did that. I did not do that.
What the frick?
Oh, fuck! My hand's bigger than my goddamn face!
The fourth form of advice I'm going to get into, which is more of the depressing one, but it's also a very important one, not just for keeping the relationship strong, but also for your own well-being, is that at some point in the relationship, ask yourself and your partner if this whole thing is worth it. To be honest, though, with the sad reality, a lot of long-distance relationships don't work out. And that's just because some people aren't willing to put in enough time. They don't want to wait as long. They can't handle the distance anymore. And if you feel like you can't handle it, that's fine. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you not worth them. It just means you want to find someone who can make you more happy. And sadly, because of the situation of how it just wasn't meant to be. And even though a long distance relationship is like a huge test of how strong a bond with somebody is, just because you feel like you can't handle it or you're not happy anymore in the relationship, that's fine. The happiness of both people should come first. And if you guys still feel like it's worth it and you want to keep the relationship going on, the number one thing overall, the final form of advice I will have to give to people if you want to survive a long distance relationship is to stay positive. Odds are is that if you're in a long distance relationship, you are more than likely going to have to deal with the distance for a very long period of time. There could be a chance that there could be a lot of moments where you're going to be feeling, oh man, I'm not going to be able to see this person. There can be times where you're planning to see them for the first time in a very long while and the trips can get canceled because of scheduling problems. I've had that happen time and time and time again. And it gets so freaking frustrating and annoying and sad. But if you truly care for that person and you want to be with them, you gotta be willing to suck it up and deal with it. And let me tell you, if you're willing to suck it up and deal with it and grow more as a person, become more mature, and be willing to handle the distance when it finally comes time to where you will see them, it is going to be so worth it. And if you guys can survive a long distance relationship and all that pain and suffering that comes with not being able to see them in person, your relationship with them can survive anything. Like any other problem will just be like a freaking rock on the side of the road. It will not be the boulder that is the long distance relationship. But yeah, that's all I have to say. If you are in a long distance relationship, tell me what you guys think about your experiences with doing it down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to further help out my channel, please consider donating to my Patreon page, hitting that like button, turning on that notification bell, and subscribing altogether. I have been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys next time. So, goodbye everyone. I feel like I want to use the Vanessa Carlton song 1,000 Miles as the outro music, but I don't want to get copyright strikes, so just imagine it in your head. Or just think about the Terry Crews version, which is equally as sexy and amazing.
Look at you. Now back to me. Now back to me. I'm on a horse.